Hey, welcome to the Product Manual, the world's #1 product management interview preparation program that is created by dozens of real product managers at leading companies, including Google, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix, and more. If you want to enroll and get immediate access, visit theproductmanual.com. In this video, we're going to be viewing and discussing a mock interview with an experienced product manager. Let's get right to it. Hey everyone, today we have Magna. She's a PM at Microsoft. Before we dive right in, I'd like her to give a brief introduction about herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Meghna Vinikota, and like Alex said, I'm a product manager at Microsoft. I am a front-end PM and I design experiences for the Azure portal, and also doing a bunch of cool stuff with Copilot now, so it's a very exciting time. Um, I've been working in the field for almost 3 years now as a PM, and then before landing my role here, I got to put my hands in everything from engineering to marketing during my intern days. So today I'm super excited to be doing a mock interview with the product manual.
Awesome. We are just as excited to have you. The question we're looking at today is fun. How would you go about improving Instagram stories?
I love this question. I love Instagram actually. One of my most used social media apps, not even kidding. So I don't know if I'm an avid poster, but I follow a lot of people and stories. Definitely check every day. So excited for this. Before we start, I want to make sure we're on the same understanding of what IG stories are. It's the feature where users can upload a picture or a video to show to their followers, and they expire after 24 hours. In that way, I have just two follow-up kind of scope questions for you. One is, obviously Instagram mobile app exists as well as an online website experience. Do we know which platform we want to tackle?
Yeah, we're trying to focus on mobile apps.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect app it is. And then similarly, improvement is such a vague basket term. Do we have an idea on what SKU we want to improve on?
Yeah, we're trying to improve the user experience.
Perfect. I think that's awesome because I'm sure one of the key metrics is how long someone spends on Instagram. So making sure their experience is the best will likely help us improve those times as well. Okay, cool. So we're on the same page. Our goal is that we are going to be creating a user-friendly experience for Instagram stories, and we're making sure they're just more engaging, interactive, all of those good things. Is that right?
Yeah, totally on board with that.
Awesome. So just to set our roadmap here, I'm going to walk through potential user segments we can tackle. Then we'll dive into their specific pain points, any solutions that we have, prioritize them, and then kind of round off with metrics and things we want to look forward to.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Perfect. First things first, users segments. I mean, immediately we know that there's two types of users on Instagram, viewers or creators. So in order for us to decide which one we want to do, I want to kind of just like think out loud, take a step back, look at like what Instagram is, and then maybe a current competitive landscape. So to start off with, in my knowledge, I mean, Instagram's whole mission is to help people capture the world's moments and share them. So I think that's where it started off initially. We didn't have stories in the beginning. We had posts, and then I think the bar for what a post should be got higher and higher. And then we added the idea of stories, so letting people update your followers with no pressure. So that's interesting. And then just thinking of where we are right now in terms of like the social media landscape. I mean, it's a big attention economy. I mean, there's so many social media apps. All of them want our attention. And I think it's a catch 22 to have more people spend time on stories because that means we have to have more people create stories. Um, so I think through that kind of line of thought, I think we should tackle the creator side of this and think about how we can encourage users to post more stories. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. As you mentioned, there's kind of this domino effect where you need the creators. So that makes sense.
So we have our creators as our big term bucket. I'm going to take a few moments just to come up with what our segments are, and then I'm going to go over them with you. So I have three segments within creators as potentials that we can create for. One is individuals. So these are people like you and me, and we are sharing updates for our friends and our family, people we've run into. So personal accounts, I would say, are individuals. The next segment is influencers. So these are people who already have a large following, and they're aiming to cultivate like a community. They want to be able to, talk with their followers. And so these people are already spending time and effort creating content. It's a part of their job as influencers. And then the last segment we could possibly tackle is businesses. So companies, big companies, small companies that are focusing on building their brand on Instagram, and I would say with the goal to convert followers to customers. So these are the three segments. Do you have a preference on which one we should go for?
No particular preference. Maybe if you know which one is more logical than the others.
Yeah. Um, well, I want to start off by eliminating businesses, actually. I think a lot of businesses and companies have dedicated social media teams. They're specialized in graphic design, story creation, and these people often use third-party tools and like cameras and everything to make stories more engaging. So I think because of that, we can eliminate this group. They're already getting a lot of help on wanting to post stories. Okay. And then for the second two, I'd say let's also eliminate influencers. I mean, with our initial question, like how do we encourage people to post more? Um, Influencers would already be skilled in stories. I mean, they have a large following, it's part of their role. So I think we can also safely eliminate them as well. And then with that, that leaves us with the individual who is trying to post more stories. And I think we can ask ourselves, what's stopping them from posting more? Focus on user engagement that way and experience that way.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me as well. They're probably also going to provide the biggest chunk of engagement just because the population is largest.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay. So keeping that in mind, we'll dive into the pain points for the individual user right now. First pain point coming to mind, I think I kind of addressed it earlier. I think the bar for stories has gone up. Similar to many of the other apps, content is just, it's scary to get into, and there's a lot of people making great content. There might be fear associated there. So I think the first pain point would be that it takes a lot of time and effort to make stories look aesthetic and pretty for people to want to see. So that's one there. Second one coming to mind, the lack of like ideas on what to post for your stories or like how to take like good pictures, things like that. So it could be a stopping reason for why individuals are not posting more. They simply don't know what constitutes like a good story or what is like a nice picture or anything anymore. So that could be another one. And then my third pain point is engagement from stories. I know for right now you can leave comments and heart a story for a friend or someone that you're following. And so if no one is saying anything or reacting to your story, you might get discouraged to continue sharing. I mean, no one else knows how many people are liking, but I do think because we show people how many likes they got and reactions they got from a story, people might not want to do it because they're like, oh, no one's looking or no one likes my stories. That could be another pain point.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I particularly like how the pain point is kind of segued in from the motivation for Instagram stories to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was A little bit of a detour from how we started, but I think it is a big problem that we want to try and tackle now, given this opportunity. So I'm gonna move on to the solutions portion now. I'm gonna try to think of fun, engaging features that could address some of these pain points. So I'm gonna take a few seconds, jot down some thoughts. I'm gonna go through each one in detail with you.
Great. Please take your time.
So, one of these first solutions that I really like is like a picture helper. And part of the name, I'm going to explain it to you right now. But basically, I thought it would be really cool for Instagram to help you find the right frame to take your picture and for your story. It could be really cool for you to be on the camera app. You can do a little 360 of the view that you're seeing, and it can help you be like, hey, take the picture from this angle. This looks the most, aesthetic. You can follow a lot of like photography rules. I know a lot of cameras and now Instagram, they give you the 3-layer grid to help you align things. You can take it a step further, have AI kind of help you take the good picture, help you take a right picture. Um, so, aesthetically, you're following photography rules, like people would want to see your stories. So yeah, picture helper is a potential solution.
Yeah, I really like that.
The next solution I have is story content ideas. This is again tackling the point of like, okay, how am I supposed to come up with like unique story idea everywhere I go? Instagram can help use your location and show you popular stories from other people. So if you are going to maybe the Grand Canyon, maybe there's a bunch of sample stories from other creators who've made their stories public, and you can be like, okay, so they took it from this angle, and it looks like this one looks pretty. So you're getting ideas on like what to take pictures of, things like that. So content ideas would be like another solution. The next one is story templates, and actually, I think this would be a really natural next step for Instagram, because we have templates and for stories and posts on other apps. Like Canva is a very popular app that has story templates. It would be a great opportunity for us to keep that in house, and so people can see story templates. They don't have to drag all the stickers or the cool graphics. You can choose a template, add in your pictures or your videos, and it's there already beautifully set up for you. So this can help with people who want to make aesthetic stories and they don't want to spend the time like following a tutorial on how to use all the interesting elements that we offer.
Yeah, I really like that one. All these apps exist for a reason, so there must be a need for it.
Yes, exactly. And then for the next one, AI on my mind, I was thinking of AI generated like captions or like tags for your stories. Usually, stories can be accompanied by text of some sort, and so I think it would be really cool to integrate AI, have it come up with captions for you, to post about like current events or help you summarize your thoughts in a more engaging way. I mean, we have ChatGPT and everything already, so we can integrate AI, help people come up with captions right there on your story. So AI captions would be the next one. And then my last kind of solution, number 5, is a lot of people for stories, you have to have other friends and people in your community also posting stories for you to like be encouraged to post it. There's a lot of like challenges that go on in Instagram right now. You can add on to like an Instagram challenge thread or a story thread. So I thought it'd be cool if we give insights and say like, hey, your 4 like close friends or like this amount of people from your close followers list are doing this particular story challenge, like, do you want to also join in? Because right now there isn't anything that pings you for that. You, especially for like holidays or like New Year's, is usually like a thread that goes around saying like, oh, post your family in 2023 and 2024, and you go through your stories and everyone's doing it, and you want to be like, oh, I also want to do it. But it would be cool if we also follow it up just with like a manual ping and giving them an insight and being like, hey, everyone's doing this challenge, like join, be a part of the conversation, something like that.
Yeah, that actually feels like a natural segue. Considering that challenges are already a thing, That makes sense.
Yeah. So those are the five solutions I have. The picture helper, the content idea inspiration one, captions, templates, and then this nudge of like add a story your friends are like doing this challenge. So I think the next step for us is for me to priority rank them and see which one we can actually tackle. um, so I'm gonna go through each one, and I want to continue to evaluate it on effort versus impact. I think these are the more indicative of if a feature can make it, is able to be built and able to be used by people. So starting off with the first one, we are going to do the picture helper. So picture helper effort very high. We will do high. We need to have there's a lot of effort needed for us to have the user show their surroundings and then for us to analyze what is like the best image part from this that they can take a picture of. So pretty high. And then I would say impact would be a medium there, um, mainly because it's I mean, pictures are very expressive form. So if people might want ideas, people might not want ideas. Plus, based on how we implement it, walking around in a 360 might not be something you want to do in like a public place. So that may not people may not want to use or do something like that. So I'm gonna say impact is a medium there. The next one is the content kind of inspiration where we're looking at people who also posted similar stories. For that one, I would say the effort is medium. From what I know, we're already tagging a bunch of posts, reels, and things to a specific location. I'm sure we can extend that feature property to stories as well. So that is why I'm doing medium effort, and then I'm doing high for impact. I think simply because if you go to a new place and you're browsing through people's stories at their location, win-win because someone's on Instagram looking at other people's stories and they also might be inspired to spend more time, trying to recreate that picture or get inspired from it. So that's why I'm doing high as the impact there. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I think that ranking makes sense.
And then the next one I had was the templates. So ability for us to give layout templates. I'm gonna say effort is low here. As you obviously know, filters are another kind of feature for stories. You can add filters, and actually if you like swipe up you see a whole plethora of filters that users have like published for other people to use. So that kind of infrastructure of like templating and people adding their own like story ideas is already kind of there in one way with filters. So that's why I'm saying the effort could be low here, and then impact high. It's going to take our story creation time down by a lot if people can just select the template and then click their pictures, it's added. It'll be done really quickly. Our last one is that AI captions one. For that one, I'm going to say effort is high. Actually, I'm going to change that right now. I'm going to say medium. I know that there was a new Instagram feature where you can do AI generated images on pictures that you've taken from your story. So the AI capability exists. It's similar to that generative fill. So I don't think it would be much harder for us to change that and use that same AI model to do captions and things like that. So I'm going to say medium effort, but I would do a medium impact as well. Sometimes AI might not be the best at generating cool captions. That we'll have to test out with some users. So yeah, I think those are the five that I have right now. And then I'm just gonna take a quick second to order them 1 to 5, and then I'll reiterate the list to you. Before I continue on to the rankings for these ideas, I also want to prioritize our story nudge idea. So this is the one where we can give people the insight to see that other people are following a challenge. So the effort, I would say, is medium to low, just if we have access to that data to give people an insight. It could be something we're already tracking, so that is why. And then value impact, I would say low, only because as much as we can nudge people, if the sentiment is that they just simply don't like posting stories, I mean, I don't think a nudge would change it. So that's why I'm making the impact as low there. And so now I'm going to prioritize all of our 5 options really quickly. So at the top of our ranking, I would say is layout templates. Second one up, story inspiration. Third one is captions, AI captions. Fourth one is the picture helper. And then the fifth one is story nudges. And that would be our list.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to me how story templates end up at the top of your list, especially based on the description you gave about how it's already using the built-in infrastructure from filters. And then it's also like we already know it's high impact since, Canva exists and people use that for stories.
Exactly. And so I think our biggest metrics to tax success here would be number of stories posted, if that is going up by percentage of people, um, number of people utilizing like the feature to post a story. So if people are actually using the template, actually using the story inspiration thing. And then the last one is time spent on making a story. I'm sure we have an average of like how long it takes for users, so we can compare before and after there to see if any of these features positively impacted like the ability for users to quickly come in and create a story.
Awesome. Yeah. Really, really great response from Magna there. I do want to highlight how she follows a very organized framework from answering these product improvement questions where she talks about users, their pain points and solutions, and ranks those solutions, and then ends with metrics. Another key is she reiterates the goal to the interviewer at the beginning of the interview, just so both people are on the same page. And throughout the entire process, she always checks in with the interviewer while also driving the interview. As a PM candidate, you want to be the one driving this interview from step 1 to step 10, and she does a great job at that. Magna, do you have any advice for students tackling these product improvement design questions?
Yeah, I think one piece of advice I'd say is like really don't limit yourself when it comes to these solutions. I mean, there's solutions I came up with, like that picture helper, that, it sounds crazy and it would be a lot of technical effort. Like, I don't even know how that would work, but I didn't cut myself off immaturely and not even mention it to the interviewer, just because I think it shows the opportunity for you to give an unbiased opinion of your answer. And so, as I said, I was like, hey, impact might be like medium to low. People might not want to do it that way, or they don't want this feature, but the ability for you to like say all your solutions, be as creative as you can, and then prioritize and rank, it's going to show that you can think of all of these things. It's going to give you a bunch of points for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great advice. Thanks so much for being on the show, Magna. It's been a pleasure having you. And thanks for such a stellar response.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap on that interview. In the Product Manual's PM interview preparation course, you will learn all of the expert frameworks for each question type that you need to produce 10 out of 10 responses. Go ahead and go over to theproductmanual.com and get started today.